So I'm only bringing this up because the last time I've had this feeling about a dream was when it was prophesied to me that somebody in my family who's younger than me would have a life that was shortened. And that I was to give some type of oath in the dream that I would assist with making it right. And I believe that I did, my best to do that. I presented the truth of Jesus Christ to them. And any time I was able, I tried to live in a way that hopefully revealed Jesus Christ to them when they passed away, which I know we're celebrating their life soon. So maybe that's what's triggering these dreams. But after they passed away, I felt a deep peace, like I did the best I could. So recently I got a dream, too, in a certain order. And it was of a judge that was very massive and big, like a huge judge. I don't know how to explain this, but like very big. And he had a long beard that extended beyond what I could see, a long white beard. And I thought it was very strange because I never had an animated dream like that, so I know that's why God wanted me to remember it. And then I had a vision of a child needing to find a place to hide from their enemies. And there happened to be a bunker door, just like a bomb bunker, you know. So the door would open and the kid would go in and hide. And it worked for a bit until the people found that hiding place. And even then, the kid was able to find hidden places within that hiding place. And only in there were they truly safe. Then finally, when the persons sought them from within there, they left. The door closed behind them, this bad person, the door closed behind them, and they were never, ever able to enter that hidden place to find that child. The child ends up living their whole life there. It's a whole house in there. And at some point, the parents find the house, and it's something like in the basement of, it's almost like the extension of the house was the bunker, but got closed off. And they found the opening in the ground. They did find somebody in there that was older, but they couldn't recognize him at first, just like Joseph. And finally, they were looking around the house and they realized these are the trinkets and stuff from our child. And like, this reminds us of them. And they realized this is actually their child. And they've created a whole life down there. And this is actually a home that was an extension of their own home, but they just couldn't see it. They couldn't see life being extended in a place that was separate from them, separate from their lived reality. And then I woke up and I thought that was a very strange dream. And then I realized what the opening of the bunker looked like, the door. It was surrounded by soil. And it definitely looked like the opening of a grave. And I realized there are some places that God will hide people because he understands that these people will rise. The ones who go into the grave, they will rise, but the people chasing those who know Christ won't be able to rise. They can't chase them into the grave and actually successfully leave. That's just not how it's going to work, right? So that's why, just like God said about people who were ill and had died, Jesus was mocked because there was a little girl who was sick and passed away, and everybody was crying. And he reassured them and said, she's not gone. She's just sleeping. So that's what, and when he said, little girl, rise, she rose. And he said, you should feed her. She's hungry. That's basically what he said. He was so casual about it. So what I believe these two dreams mean, because I had a similar house in Astoria, Queens. My abuelita, my grandma, had my tia, my aunt, in kind of this other part of the house. In order to get there, you'd have to go through the basement, even though my abuelita was on the top floor. You had to go to the middle floor, down to the basement, and then we followed the basement all the way back. You'd see basically these stairs that lead to nowhere, except when you pushed up against the ceiling, it would open. It was like a trap door, and it went into my tia's house. And even though you can't see, maybe how the trapdoor opens or how the basement works or where these things lead, doesn't mean that God doesn't know where they lead. Doesn't mean God doesn't understand why these things are happening. And the thing is, this really wasn't his way of saying to me, hey, give me an oath. Hey, assist me with this going correctly. This wasn't really to inform me of anything that I had to do except to observe. And I observed in such a way that was so honest and so objective, I honestly had no idea what he was doing as it was happening until I woke up and until I, of course, had a few synchronicities happen where God literally had to say, I'm telling you it's a grave. I'm telling you it's a grave. And the feeling I have is reassurance. The feeling I have is a type of deep comfort. But I do know it's a house that's parallel for me. It's maybe not directly my house. And I've had a lot of synchronicities that have broken my heart in the last few hours. But my faith is in God, and I believe that's why his spirit extended beyond what I could see. He's saying that he has a judgment that knows better, and that he's got to sometimes tunnel people in and away from the obstacles of a place that could actually keep them forever. And he's tunneling away in a safe place, a safe haven. Just like we see Joseph and how all the things that never made sense ended up being what made him second in power, which of course he's a type of Christ. So this is my point, is I do have the feeling that God is prepping me for something. He's prepping me for what is to come. He's comforting me. He's making it clear there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change this, that I have to trust in his judgment. And it's its own type of test. It's its own type of test. And maybe the reason why the Holy Spirit fire is asking me to relay this and why it can't just be written down, because I wrote it down thinking the feeling would just go away. I think maybe there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. Maybe they don't have a firm reality ability via the Holy Spirit to understand how God moves within this place and how there are extensions in places, and maybe there's a certain type of grace, light, truth, faith, preservation that needs assistance, it needs help in another parallel place. And that's where that person has to step into in order to be what God's called them to be in a place that's very dark. That's what I have faith in. I have faith in that person in their sleep, spiritual sleep, being given the sanctification, the tools they need in order to rise to the place that God has for them and for them to become what he called them to be. And how a God that is so perfect does such things, it's not my business. It's not my business to judge it. And to have faith that the reason why he's even telling me, he shouldn't even have to tell me, it's not my business, is he does indeed care. He cares about what it looks like. And he wants you to know that he's with you, even when it doesn't make sense to your eyes, that you're to lead by faith, not by sight. That's what you're supposed to believe in. And may God be with you.